Alright, so now that we're in the kitchen, we're actually going to go over all the different parts of the dishwasher, the different types of racks of the dishwasher, and the chemicals, and actually how to clean, maintain, check all the filters, strainers, functions of the dishwasher to make sure it's going to run efficiency every time we use it. So the first thing we're going to do is make sure that we check the dishwasher. Okay, we're going to first turn the dishwasher on. Okay, we got to make sure that we check the digital gauge to see if it's actually reading and efficient. So the other parts that we're going to check at are actually on the inside of the dishwasher. There's a lever or stopper. Okay? It allows the water reservoir inside the dishwasher to actually fill up and drain. So we're actually going to put that into the down position. This is the service door to actually check and maintain the maintenance of the dishwasher so you can see in and do anything you need to. And then over here is actually the chemical components. Okay. I'm going to drop this. And this right here, this is another one of the chemical components. This is a jet dry rinse additive, which we'll go over that. And this is the powder activator, which is the solid powder XL clean dish soap that they use on the high temp dishwasher. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to lower the dishwasher lever, okay, and we're going to fill up the reservoir to make sure that we get the correct amount of water into the machine, and then it's also going to raise the temperature up to the wash and sanitizing correct temperature for the dishwasher. So we're going to lower the lever. As that's filling up, it's going to take a few minutes. We're going to go over the different racks that are associated with the dishwasher. Alright? So the three different racks we're going to talk about. This is the flatware rack. Now the flatware rack is supposed to be used for bowls and plates to keep them separated so actually food particles don't collect in between the two plates. The next rack we're going to talk about is the silverware rack, the flat rack. Okay? So this is mainly used for silverware, but you can also put other large utensils and equipment in here, as long as it's actually spread out evenly, so there's actually nothing's piling on top, so actually the dishes that are going to be cleaned have the proper space in between them. The last rack we're going to talk about is the glassware rack. This glassware rack can be used with many different types of glasses, wine glasses, pitchers, goblets, all different other types of glassware racks. So we're going to talk about the loading procedures, unloading procedures of the dishwasher. And we're going to scroll over here and first talk about the two different types of chemicals. So the chemical that we're actually using is called solid powder XL detergent for the high temp dishwasher. So on low temperature dishwashers, there's a 3-part chemical solution. That's a wash cycle chemical, and a rinse and a sanitizer chemical. So the other one that we're using is a jet dry Ecolab. It actually allows the chemicals to dry quicker, spot free, and rinse free shine when it actually reaches up to the high temp dishwasher. So how you replace these containers is very simple. On the rinse additive, you just actually pop this stopper off, okay? Pull it completely out, making sure you avoid letting it drip down onto the surface. If it does, make sure you clean up that area. And then you're going to just replace it. Make sure you shove that down nice and tight. Make sure it's a good seal. The other one you want to check regularly is this solid powder XL. All you do is lift up, look inside the container to see if there's any hard substance in there. If there is, make sure it's fine to put back in there. If not, then replace it with a brand new container, removing the lid, lifting the latch, sliding in, and it's good to go. Alright, so now that our machine has filled up, okay, we're going to open the hatch, we're going to check it. Now the dishwasher temperature should get up to about 150 degrees Fahrenheit. So the rinse solution should get up to about 180 degrees Fahrenheit. So to get that temperature up to the recommended level to make sure it's operating, we're going to lower the latch and actually let it run one cycle before we start washing our dishes. So let it run. So this time we're going to be checking the gauge down here to make sure it's actually reading the proper gauge, to make sure it's getting up to temperatures. So by the end of the cycle, it should be up to the proper temperature. Okay. So it's still reading kind of low. It might take 1 to 2 cycles to do this. So while that's running, getting up to temperature, we're going to talk about loading and unloading the dishware racks. So First layer with the silverware rack. Okay, and that's the first one we're going to talk about. So, silverware rack, you can just sort of place a good amount of silverware, not stack up all the way to the surface, and you can stack more than 1 or 2 pieces of silverware inside of the into the tray. So as you guys can see behind me, we have our silverware placed in the tray, assorted with spoons, knives, and forks. Before we run those through the dish machine, we want to make sure that they are properly cleaned. Properly cleaned by being sprayed off. Now, we place this tray into a trap with a disposal in it to actually catch any food particles, so they don't go into the tray itself and don't clog up to the dishwasher. So we put that down. We make sure we have a good amount of water pressure, and we spray off all the food particles from the dishes before actually inserting them. Once we know that they're good, we're going to raise the hatch of the door, checking our temperature to make sure it's getting up to 150 degrees Fahrenheit. Alright, now that it's up there, we're going to lift the trap and slowly slide it into the dishwasher, making sure it stays on the runners of the trap so the tray doesn't fall off and then the silverware goes into the dishwasher. So once we do that, we want to make sure we center the rack in between there, because if it's not centered exactly, the door will not shut and it will not operate. So once it's centered, then we're going to slowly lower it. Okay, once we lower it. And while it's running, you can see that it's now up to 150 degrees Fahrenheit, so it's at the proper temperature. Might jump up and down. And then we're going to wait till the rinse cycle of 180 degrees Fahrenheit to make sure it's properly sanitized. While that is running, okay, we're going to go ahead and talk about our next rack. Okay, this is the plateware rack and the bowl rack. So the same concept of this is we want to first start with the rack into the tray, so it's not going to move around on us with a slick surface. We want to take our plates, okay, and we want to stack them vertically in the tray. Okay, so it doesn't matter which way we actually stack them, from front to back or from side to side. We just want to make sure we're consistent with the way that we stack them. You don't want to stack plates where they're actually on top of each other, okay, or facing each other where water cannot penetrate both the front and back side of the plates vertically and horizontally, so it actually allows that food or debris to actually be removed from the plate. So once the plates are actually stacked up in the tray, and they're all kept separate, we're going to do the same thing that we did to the silverware by spraying them off prior to inserting them into the dishwasher. So it doesn't matter if they're all exactly the same, as long as they all have some separation in between the plates. We're going to take our sprayer and spray off the plates to remove any dirt or debris off the plates that's going into the disposal. Okay? So now that actually our silverware is complete, we're going to go over here. We're going to lift this up, being careful not to get burned by the steam from the high temp that's coming out of there. We want to carefully grab the tray and pull it out so it start to cool. Right? Sometimes there's excess water, some things might have moved around in the cycle. So you can shake that water residue off, and you want to allow that to properly dry and cool before handling. It is up to 180 degrees, boiling temperature is 212, so you do not want to get burned touching that. So allow plenty of cooling and drying time before storing that product away. So, alright, so now we're going to lift our plates to be entered into the dishwasher that we've actually already pre-cleaned. So we're going to slide this over carefully, insert it into the dish rack, make sure it's again centered inside there, and again lower the rack dish slowly. Every cycle just taking a quick peek at the temperature, making sure that it's up to temperature as usual. Seeing that our detergent is being dispensed in there, and making sure we have plenty of jet dry. Alright. So the last rack we have is called the glass rack. Again, different assortment of glasses that we can actually insert into there. Today we had some water goblets. We can put juice glasses. It keeps separation in between the glasses so they're not moving around, potentially breaking the glass. So we're going to insert that into our tray. Now On some glasses, you can't clean the inside prior to inserting in there. So you actually, if the glass is slightly more dirty than needed, you can actually spray or pre-clean the dish before inserting it upside down into the rack. If it is placed vertically, it will hold water, and then that 180 water will actually burn you and it'll be hard to remove. So make sure you insert those glasses upside down. So once the glass rack is filled, we'll insert this. If there's any other glasses that need to be cleaned, we'll put those in there. Different arrangement. Got two more. So prior to, before, and after loading and unloading, make sure you inspect all dishes for chips, scratches, any defects, so it's not going into conflict with the customer who uses that flatware glassware. All right. So again, we're going to lift the latch, sliding our silverware over, letting the steam come out. We're going to pull the flatware or plates out of the dishwasher. So now the final step is the glasses. We're going to slide into the dish unit, okay, and lower the latch. Now once we've finished our last load of dishes that we're going to demonstrate, we want to inspect the dishes prior to stacking. So you're checking both sides, front and back, very quickly, and then you're going to stack the dishes, okay, in a nice clean area right beside that are dry before actually storing the product away. Same thing with the dishes. You want to, with the silverware, you want to sort the silverware, the spoon is nice and full before storing those dishes away. Now keeping a nice and orderly area, make sure you guys use your racks, store your racks properly so that it's not just out of order. Place a nice rack storage area so you can receive your next dishes that are actually nice and clean. So we're going to open this up. We're going to pull out our glasses. Again, making sure that you don't get burned with the hot heat of the dishwasher. And that's actually how we loaded, cleaned, pre-cleaned, and unloaded the dishwasher. Now we're going to talk about the shutdown procedures of a dishwasher. So prior to finishing and turning off your machine, you want to make sure you check your pre-wash area. So you want to make sure that any debris or utensils is actually cleaned before actually turning it off. You don't want to have any extra dirty dishes or racks in your area. So let's move those off to the side, stack them where needed. So before we actually lower the lever and actually check anything, we're going to turn off the machine because we don't want to start while we're actually working on it. So we're going to turn that off. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to lift the service hatch of the front of the machine. Now we're going to inspect to see if any dishes are actually inside the dishwasher, inside the trap. Now there are several different strainers and traps inside the dishwasher, and we're going to pull those out and inspect them. So this is one of the food traps or utensil traps inside the dishwasher. So make sure you inspect this, check for any food. If there is any food, make sure you rinse out and replace as needed. Make sure you also drain the water of the machine. So drain the water completely. Water actually causes growth, mold, so you want to eliminate that, leaving the dishwasher up in the open ventilated position so it doesn't rust and corrode for storage from day-to-day operations. Once the water is drained and the strainers and baskets are clean and the machine is off, you want to squeegee your area clean, checking your surfaces to make sure they're clean and dry. On a final note, you want to make sure you recheck your chemicals, make sure they're not completely empty, that you've actually had proper chemicals during your proper use and prior to the next day's operations. So that sort of wraps it up here on how to use a high-temp dishwasher. Thank you.